Hello, good evening. Welcome to one live session. I don't know where you are tuning in from, where you're watching us from. Might be good morning or good afternoon from where you are watching us from. Here we are live we are live on one YouTube channel, live on Twitter and on Facebook. So yeah, it's a live phone-in session. You're listening to Bevin Sapasino. Yeah, the topic we'll be discussing this evening is all about what is happening in Ukraine at the moment. What would be the fate of Nigerians in Ukraine if Russia invaded the country? What would be their fate? So there will be a number on the screen, and I would like you to oblige me and call the number and voice your opinion and your views on what we're discussing about. Okay. As a Nigerian, most Nigerians, they fend for themselves. You know, a lot of families are finding ways to send their sons and daughters abroad in search of a better life. And in order to help the family and support them in one way or the other, some of them they will find dealers that specialize in dealing with traveling documents. Those dealers, sometimes they will suggest that so countries are available. Most times, maybe they will say that, yeah, the Ukraine is available. Madam or sir, that Ukraine is available, we can do the papers for you. You know, sometimes like Madam, one of the countries it's easy to get their visa now would be Ukraine. Your daughter or your son can go there to study and she will be working at the same time. That's what they normally say. If it sounds good to the mother or the father of the person, the family will look for money in one way or the other, you know, just to finance the travel. That's how some Nigerians find themselves in Ukraine. A lot of them, they'll go there to study. A lot of them, they'll find one way or the other to get there just because of what is happening back home. A lot of people are fending for themselves, so they will leave the country. So currently, Russia and Ukraine, the two countries are in a state of war. The Russo-Ukraine war began in 2014 following the Russian annexation of Crimea from Ukraine. You know, the Russian government feared that Ukraine membership of the EU and NATO would complete the western wall of allied countries by restricting Russia's access to the Black Sea. You know, because of that, the tension surrounding it, more than a dozen countries have urged their citizens to leave Ukraine. And warnings from Western powers that an invasion of Russia could be imminent. The US, UK, and Germany among those who told their nations to leave. Some countries, like Canada, is also moving its embassy to. They're moving their staffs to Lviv, near a border with Poland. You know, most foreign embassies withdrawing their staffs, and a host of countries now telling their citizens to leave Ukraine. But inside Ukraine, which is Kiev, still doesn't feel like a city in crisis. But while all these things is happening, and there are a lot of countries are, like asking their citizens to leave, to find ways to go, has there been any message to Africans, especially Nigerians? What is the message? What is their fate? What are they supposed to do? remember that to be able to leave a country in an emergency, you will need a travel document. Or another way is that the country where you come from, they can arrange for evacuation, which I doubt Nigeria will do. So the question is this: I would like you to indulge me and let's have a thoughtful conversation about this. Remember, it's Ukraine today. Tomorrow, nobody knows. But the scenario and what I want us to look into properly is what if, peradventure, Russia invaded Ukraine or something happened or something start happening? Africans are in Ukraine, especially Nigerians that are there. What will be their fate? What will be their fate? What would they do? Most of them might not have papers. Most of them might not have means of living because most of the other countries, their citizens, they can leave anytime because they have their travel documents. They can enter into the neighboring countries like Poland and some other countries that are close because they have access to get in there. But most of Africans, most of Nigerians that are there might not have those documents. Most of them might be students. And once you leave the country to come back in will be difficult. So because of that, most of them might decide not to go anyway. Understand? But what I want us to focus on is what will be their fate if something like that happen. What was going to happen? What is going to happen to them? Understand? So if anybody is close to, you're in Poland or you're in Ukraine or you're somewhere else, I don't know, maybe you can just call and let us know. The number is on the screen, +44 744 9823876. Call me on WhatsApp. The line is open now. You can call me and let me know what is your view. What do you think? What is going on over there? Other African countries, have I don't know which African country you're coming from or you're listening from. What is your country saying about it? Are they making plans to evacuate their citizens? Are they making plans or have they told their citizens to start leaving the country? Have they told them to look for alternative ways to leave the country? What is going on? Because the way things are going, if you remember that, an estimated about 150,000 Russian troops are positioned within the reach of Ukraine borders. They're already there, stationed. What happened next could jeopardize Europe's entire security structure. And because of that, that's the reason why most of the countries are telling their citizens to leave. They don't want to take any chances. I know that Africans, we don't really value lives anyway. So it might not be anything. At the end of the day, you are the one that find yourself in Ukraine. You have to find your way to come back. You have to find your way to get out of the country. So that's the reason. That's what we're discussing about. I would like to see your chat. Put the chat. If you can't call me, you can just send in a chat. I can read out your chat, or you can call on the phone. The number is open, and let us discuss. Let us have that gentleman discussion. Let us interact with each other. Let us have that thoughtful conversation. You understand? What if, for example, you are the one, you find yourself in Ukraine and something like this is happening? What do you expect your country to do? What is it that you'll be expecting to hear from your country where you come from? What do you expect to hear from them? Because it's happening now. Though it might not seem like a lot of tension, but according to news that are coming around, they say they're imminent. When they say imminent, it might happen at any time, but that's what's happening. So what do you think? What is it that What is the fate of Nigerians in Ukraine? If you have the knowledge of what they can do or what is the fate. I know that Russia they have already responded that they don't have any plans to attack Ukraine, a country of 44 million people. But they have done that before. I think that was in 2014 when they seized Crimea and backed the conflict in Ukraine, Eastern Donbas region. That's what they said before that one happened as well. They said they have no plans, but they still did that. You know, President Putin has insisted that Russia does not have, they don't want war, right? And they are ready to negotiate. Okay. But when they said that Russia is ready to negotiate, and they are saying at the same time that they have already threatened as well, that Russia is threatening. They are ready to negotiate. At the same time, they are threatening. What is going on? What are the fate of Nigerians in Ukraine? What are the fate of Africans that are in Ukraine? You understand? So what are they expecting their countries, their leaders, whatever, to talk or to tell them? What are they expecting to hear from them? That's what we're discussing about. I want you to call me. The number is open. The line is open there. +44 744982376. I think we are live. Yeah, someone Justin, is it Justin the Alpha? World War III is coming. I don't think so. I don't know. Nobody knows really what is happening over there. But the situation is running out of hand. What is really happening? What is going on? What is going on? An estimated 150,000 Russian troops are positioned within the reach of Ukraine. But what happens next could jeopardize Europe's entire security structure. That's what they're saying. The US and other NATO allies have made it clear that they have no plans to send combat troops to Ukraine. What are they doing? They just want to support. They're offering support because apparently Ukraine is not in NATO. Okay. They say they will advise them, they will give the weapons, and they will support them to treat if there's any casualty. To understand? So Justin said again that 190,000 Russian troops, 500 warships, and 1,000 plus aircraft, they are all positioned. Putin is getting his nukes ready. It might seem like it can happen at any time. Yes, but what are the leaders? What are they saying? I'm talking about African. I'm talking about Africans. Talking about Africans. What are they saying? What are they saying? Saying. If you have any idea, the number is on the screen. You can tell me what is really how will Africans, how are they going to escape if anything happens? Is there any way they can leave Ukraine? Is there any way they can find their way out of there? How would they leave? How do they leave the country? Having in mind that most of them might not have their travel documents. You know, are they going to be sacrificial lamb? You know, what is going to happen? You know, Justin as was saying that he said, I think Putin wants to invade Europe and destroy NATO and take over. I don't think NATO will allow them. They will not, though Ukraine is not in it's not in NATO, but NATO will not just stay there and just watch. You know, like they said here, you know, the Pentagon has put 8,500 combat-ready troops on alert and is deploying 3,000 extra soldiers to Germany, Romania, and Poland. Other NATO allies have beefed up their support on the alliance eastern flank. So, you know, it's go. I don't know. Say Nigeria oil prices will go up, so that would be good for the Nigerian government. Okay, that would be good for Nigerian government. Oil prices will go up. Okay, what about the Nigerian citizens that are in Ukraine? What is it their fate? What is their fate? The line is open. I would like you to call me. Just give me a shout. Call me. You know, I would like someone to call me and let's tell me what is your views. What do you think about this? You know, what do you think about this? Understand? I think there's a lot of threat to Putin. President Biden has already threatened personal sanctions on Vladimir Putin, and the UK has warned that those in and around Kremlin will be nowhere to hide. But Putin don't care. I don't think he cares about all the stuff. I don't think he cares about all of that, you know? So because of that, he's doing whatever he wants to do. And he knows that nobody will stop him. Understand? Nobody will stop him. Though Ukraine, they already said that if anything happens, yes, they are ready for it. Like what Justin the Alpha said, he said World War III is coming. It might not look like it, but hello, hello, welcome.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Welcome. I can hear you loud and clear. Welcome to the show.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you think? What is it that you think that will be the fate of Nigerians in Ukraine if peradventure Putin invade Ukraine?
Okay. Good evening,
Good evening.
Mr. Bevan. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Tosh again on the line.
Well, you're calling from Tosh, Germany, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, from Germany. Yeah,
Yeah.
calling from Germany.
Welcome. Okay.
You're welcome. Yeah. So, in view of what you just asked,
Mm-hmm.
we have about 30,000 African natives that lives in Ukraine,
Okay.
and most of them traveled there to study
Mm-hmm.
and their cultural settings. Yeah, we have lots of Nigerian students over there and young enterprise,
Mm-hmm.
in Ukraine. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in view of what is going on there now,
Mm-hmm.
the chairman of Nigerian Diaspora Commission
Mm-hmm.
stated on the safety of Nigerians in Ukraine,
Mm-hmm.
David Arewa said that Nigerians in Ukraine have been duly advised by the embassy
Okay.
to come and register appropriately,
Mm-hmm.
as indicated, due to the tension
Mm-hmm.
in Ukraine,
Yeah.
due to the tension, the ongoing tension.
Mm-hmm.
So Nigerian embassy told them to avoid unnecessary travel within the country,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
and urged them to take their individual and collective security seriously
Mm-hmm.
and ensure they always carry requisite identification.
Okay.
Yeah. Owing in view of that, the world powers, if the world powers, if America, if Britain, if Germany,
Mm-hmm.
if Belgium has consistently said, they have been saying that their citizens should leave Iran, should leave Ukraine, sorry,
Mm-hmm.
citizens should leave, that they will not send rescue team to rescue anybody, to avoid open confrontation
Mm-hmm.
with Russians,
Yeah.
which might eventually lead to Third World War. They carefully said that
Mm-hmm.
their nationals, all the American citizens,
Mm-hmm.
should leave. Now, now that they still have that they still have chances of going out, that America will not send any rescue team
Mm-hmm.
to come and rescue them there.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike what happened in Afghanistan, you saw what happened, how
Mm-hmm.
they sent a rescue team to evacuate people.
Mm-hmm.
That such a thing will not happen in Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
And you know very well that a lot of Nigerians are there.
Mm-hmm.
The embassy, though they issued a warning telling Nigerians to be careful about their movement, to be security cautious, but I think
Mm-hmm.
it's up to them to openly tell Nigerian citizens to leave.
Yeah, but
Are you getting it?
yeah, I understand, Tosh. But the situation is what the problem is that most of these countries that are asking their citizens to leave, right?
Yes.
Most of them citizens like UK, Germany, and all those stuff. All their citizens they have access to leave the country because they have the passports, right? They
They
can
have
leave at any
access
time.
to leave.
But most
They
of
can leave. Of course,
yeah,
Nigerians, both the ones living uh, that travel genuinely,
mm-hmm,
living legally, and the ones that are living illegally.
mm-hmm.
There's supposed to be an arrangement on how to evacuate them.
That's what I'm not asking.
Because
Mm-hmm,
to avoid them being caught up in a crossfire.
mm-hmm.
I'm getting it.
Yeah.
Now, if war starts, America will not send rescue team.
Mm-hmm,
Likewise, all these big superpowers, they are
mm-hmm.
not going there to rescue everybody.
Yeah.
And Ukraine, mind you, is not a member of NATO.
Yeah.
Ukraine is not a member of NATO. Now, these people will not go there because going there, it will violate some of their rules or whatever. Because one of the policies of NATO is an attack for one, is an attack for all.
Yes.
So they will not eventually go to Ukraine to fight. So to avoid open confrontation, like what Biden's administration said, because they wouldn't want anything that would trigger third world war. So it's now left for every country to advise their citizens to leave now that they still have the chance, the means.
Mm-hmm.
Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Even if there should be any rescue team, Germans will only take Germans away.
Yeah.
People with German passport.
Mm-hmm.
British government will only take British people away. They will only evacuate British people.
Mm-hmm.
Americans will only evacuate people that have American passports.
Yeah.
Then Nigeria or African countries, you know how they behave.
That is what I'm
So I will
saying.
advise every Nigerian living there now that it's only a tree that you will tell that you will cut it off tomorrow, and when you go back there tomorrow, you still see it there. So I will advise them to leave now. They should find a means and leave.
They
I
what?
wouldn't want to be caught in a crossfire or to be brought back in a body bags.
Yeah. Tosh, if like what the government of Ukraine is saying, they said that they're telling everybody to stay calm, yeah, and united, they're telling them to refrain from actions that would undermine stability and sow panic. Do you understand what I mean? That
Yeah.
the country had to be ready for any eventuality. This is for their citizens. Do you understand?
This is for their citizens. And mind you, let me put something there. He only made that statement to avoid investors living in their country, because now somebody even said that Putin was able to destabilize Ukraine economy without shooting a gun.
Yes.
And mind you, Ukraine has been encircled. If you go to Ukraine with their border with Belarus, Russian soldiers have been positioned there. The border they share with Russia, Russian soldiers are there. And Crimea, which they annexed in 2014, Russian soldiers are there. So you will find out that in these three sides, they've been encircled, they've been surrounded. So it's only left their border with Poland that is still open. So people can still move out now.
Yeah.
If you read American intelligence, what Blinken said, according to their recent military intelligence, that Russia could invade Ukraine anytime,
any moment.
soon.
That's what they said. Yes.
Any moment from now.
Even
So I wouldn't think why Africans are being caught up in a crossfire or whatever.
yeah.
So there are chances for them, for African embassies there, to tell their citizens to leave now or make appropriate arrangement to evacuate their citizens now.
Yes, somebody concur with you here. Is Justin? He said, "What did he say? That he said it's sad, but the Nigerian need to run and find a safe place to go, because
that is it.
Once Russian soldiers invade Ukraine, it will be extremely dangerous. Understand?
It will be dangerous, and mind you, NATO there. This is something you have to mark. NATO is not going there.
Yeah.
The President Zelensky made a statement that people should not panic. Of course, it's a propaganda statement, just not to create panic among the citizens. You know, because the economy is already in shambles. Are you getting it?
Yeah, I do.
Even there was a security report that he shouldn't live there to attend the Munich conference, but he left there and attended the Munich conference. He only did it just to give people hope and assurance. The economy is now unstable. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
So if world superpowers, if all these rich nations, the people that have the means, are busy telling their citizens to leave, then what of developing nations?
Yeah, that's the question. That's what we are alive.
What of third world country?
Yeah, that's what we are alive.
Countries like Nigeria and all those stuff, Morocco and all those Egypt and stuff like that. What will be the fate of their citizens? So I think now that they are still negotiating, because diplomacy has not been exhausted.
Yeah.
This is the right time for them to make arrangements and leave peacefully now, because there's a possibility of invasion.
You know that that's impossible. Now, a majority of Nigerians are very stubborn.
They are very ignorant. Yeah, of course.
Especially when some of them will say that what are they going back to Nigeria to do? It's better that they die there. They understand what I mean?
That is an ignorant. You see, they don't have good logical sense of reasoning. Good logical sense of reasoning. And I see it as a sign of ignorance. It's only ignorant fools that will say that. NATO is busy sending troops to their eastern flanks, to all the NATO allies. They are positioning troops. The other day, American B-52 bomber left to Eastern Europe.
Yeah.
Their F-35 is already here, which is the latest fighter jet. Then what are you expecting?
Well, listen.
Every day, Russia keeps telling people that they are doing a military exercise.
Tosh,
So what do you expect again? Which other signs do they expect to see?
Okay.
It's a ticking time. People should be cautious of what is happening around them. You have to be cautious of what is happening around you. People should listen to news.
Okay. In a situation whereby let's just put it this way. Your parents, they sold their maybe the plot of land they have. they send you abroad. They send you maybe to Ukraine. What are they when they send you to Ukraine? You know how it is in Africa. They're expecting returns, right? They're
Of course.
expecting that you're gonna send some money to help your younger ones and all that kind of thing. So, and when this kind of things happens, I don't think that kind of person gonna leave Ukraine to come back until when they start, when they maybe they see
Mind you,
maybe they
there's
see
this
people
saying,
start dying, something like that. Yes.
there is this African proverb that says, when there is life, there is hope. Are you getting it?
Yes.
It's only the living that will aspire for bigger things. It's only when somebody is alive that he will think of making money. In a situation like this, when there is a civilian unrest,
Yeah.
I get it, because there will be civilian unrest certainly. You know,
Yes.
so what they should do is to live peacefully. They can migrate to Poland. They can stay in Poland. They can travel back to Africa for the people that have the means. Then uh, when the tension is over, then they will come back.
Do you think that Polish people will allow them to come into their country?
Why won't Polish people? I think the international organization, they are making arrangements for people because for Ukrainian refugees that will come to Europe. They are making arrangements for that.
Yes,
I
that's
heard
for
it on the news.
Ukrainians. I know that, but
Yeah.
what I'm saying, you have to understand something. We have to be. They just put it. We have to be realistic here, right? You and me knows how it is. They might say whatever they want to say.
I understand.
Yeah, but
I understand.
you as a
Somebody,
black person coming over there, I don't think they will give you the access.
they will give them for the fact in the event of war, because do you want a situation whereby they will be used as body shells?
That's an event of war.
Or to be brought back in body bags. Nobody wants that. So the best thing to do is to find a way now. They can go into Poland and stay in the camp. And I think they station the camp there. Europe is preparing because the war will devastate the entire region. They are preparing for refugees, of course. There will be civilian unrest. There will be civilian crisis, sorry. There will be civilian crisis, Of course, the entire region will be devastated at the event of war. That is why everybody is praying for peaceful diplomatic resolution towards this. They have to be careful in handling this because President Putin is determined to bring back all the Soviet countries that disintegrated, He wants to make Russia great again. Okay, look at what is happening in Donbass region. The war has started already because the other time America said they might use a false flag operation. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
They might use false flag as a means to justify the attack. In the sense that, they will start destroying things in those Donbass area, ethnic Russians area.
Yeah.
Claiming that Ukrainians are the ones shooting them. Then President Putin will now have something to justify the invasion. He might possibly come in, to safeguard those areas.
Well, Putin
So people should be. Pardon?
Yeah, but Putin he's still insisting that he does not want any war. That he's ready to negotiate.
This is what he will say. Of course, he's using it to negotiate security guarantees in Europe because he wants Europeans to assure him. Because right now there was this agreement when during the fall of the Soviet Union, they had agreement that NATO should not encroach into the Eastern Bloc, but they violated such agreements. So he's well determined to recover those areas back. The other day, he was giving them warning that she should remove all their long missile range that they positioned in Bulgaria and Romania. That the NATO should reduce their influence there. And Ukraine is Ukraine is in their doorstep. So they wouldn't want, like now they want to create a Donbass areas as a buffer zone in case if Ukraine joins EU, because Ukraine, they are still determined to join EU, knowing fully well that when they join EU, automatically they will join NATO.
They will join NATO, yes. And that's what Putin doesn't want.
Remember what happened to their last president, Poroshenko, who happened to be a pro-Russian ally. They weren't comfortable with him. That was why he ran to Russia. He escaped to Russia.
Yeah.
President Poroshenko, who happened to be a Russian ally. Now, President Zelensky, who is from indigenous Ukraine, who is an indigenous Ukrainian, said that his policy is to make sure that Ukraine enters EU, which Russia is not comfortable of. If Ukraine should enter EU, that means that area, NATO will come in immediately. If they enter EU, then they will enter NATO, and NATO will bring their heavy weapons at Russian doorstep. Are you getting it? The other day, Putin was telling them that, what if he comes to Mexico? How will America feel if Russia comes to Mexico to put their heavy weapons? How will America feel? Will they be comfortable? So when you see a person of Putin, who happens to be the most powerful person in the world today, and recently they aligned with China in case of anything. Are you getting it? So people should be very, very cautious. We should take him serious. And he's a man that doesn't talk much. He's a man that believes in action.
KGB, isn't he?
Yeah, of course. He was the former director of KGB. He was a former director of KGB. He was a spy agent here in Germany. Yeah. He lived in Germany. He once lived in Germany before the death of Boris Yeltsin.
Well,
after the death of Boris Yeltsin, okay.
Yes, the thing is this year, as the Western world, they say NATO, America, and others, they're trying their best maybe to negotiate according to them. Do you understand?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
And some people are suggesting that they're supposed to sanction Putin. It's not really sanctioning Russia because they've done that before and it didn't have any effect on them.
Okay.
So,
of course.
which they're asking to use another alternative, like the Western sanction, which US, EU, and UK have prepared in case of invasion. They didn't want to give out the details of what kind of sanctions they will give, right? And some people trying to maybe to assume what they will do. Do you understand? Some people are saying that one key threat is to prevent the opening of Russian Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline in Germany. The one in Germany, the one they're trying to do.
Yeah, of course, Nord Stream 2, of course.
You understand?
Nord Stream 2.
Yes, but Germans are saying that it's not yet approved. Do you get me? Understand what I'm saying?
It's not yet approved because of American pressure, If, like German policy, their foreign policy is they don't want to engage Germany in any military whatever again, because it happened in 1942 during the Second World War or something like that. So they don't want to involve Germany in any way again. They say that they're going to send 4,000 military helmets to Ukrainians. They even blocked Estonia from sending their special gun to Ukraine to defend themselves.
Yeah.
They said they will set up a hospital in case of in case if there's a civilian casualties or whatever in Ukraine, that they will establish a hospital that will take care of wounded persons or stuff like that. Then you find out that there was even a time America started doubting if Germany is a strong ally of America because of their recent behavior. And that Nord Stream 2 is equally very important to them. That is why America is trying a possible best to losing Russian grip on Europe.
Yeah.
Because Russia supplies more than 60% of gases to Europe. Are you getting it?
Yeah, and Germany, I think, is 70%, isn't it? They are dependent on.
So we don't want to. So it's all about national interest. It's all about national interest. Are you getting it? So the Germany cannot afford to lose cheap gas they will be getting from Russia because of Ukraine. This is one thing you have to know.
Oh man! So really, this is when, for example, when you are in a country like most of our Nigerians and that African countries that are in Ukraine at the moment, most times you might not have the proper, how would I say, the proper information on ground. Do you get me? because in the morning, sometimes you're gonna wake up in the morning, you go to work, you come back, you're tired. Sometimes you will not like to listen to the news. Do you understand? So understand, I know this kind of things, and most of them don't really even know what is happening around there. And it's hotting up, it's getting crazy and crazy. You know what I mean? So I don't know. And really, I think Nigerian government is supposed to send out a very strong message. Do you understand what I mean?
Of course.
Then if they send
Yes,
out a very strong message, at least just to show care, that duty of care, that whatever, at least just to show that yes,
if you've been observant, you will see that Anthony Blinken, the U.S. Secretary of State, keeps saying that Americans should leave. So if Nigerian government or the ambassador of Nigeria or whatever, the consular, whatever that is there, should say it directly to people that Nigerians should leave. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Then Nigerians there will start taking him serious. Of course. When you see your ambassador telling you to leave, then what else are you waiting for?
I don't know. That is
and not everyone's going around. Yeah, of course. What else would they be waiting for? So that is just the thing. I think it's high time of course, people should tell their friends living there, Nigerians living there, Africans living there, whatever, to find a way to live first.
This is really appalling. It's something that if you imagine it, because sometimes I always like
that is not an act of cowardice.
No, seriously,
it's never an act of cowardice, you know.
Yeah, I always put myself sometimes in some other people's shoes. Yeah, when you think about situation on ground and what is happening, and most people might not like I said to you earlier, they will say to themselves that Nigeria is not safe, that it's better than stay there, and which is very bad. They're not supposed to think like that. They're supposed to find.
We are talking of war. We are talking of war. Now we are talking of war. We are talking of war, and the war superpowers are being careful in order not to escalate.
Yeah, to escalate it, right? I understand. Yeah.
Are you getting it? So that is why they are using diplomacy as the best option. But in a situation whereby diplomacy fails, are you getting it? Then the worst case scenario, that is it. So people should take to their heels now. People should leave. People should leave first. Then when situation calms down, of course they can come back.
Yep. And
to make arrangements and leave. That is my message, my strong message to them.
But this, President Biden, he threatened Putin, right? He threatened Putin.
He can only mention sanctions. He can only use sanctions.
Yeah, he doesn't say. He said he threatened the person.
He cannot threaten Putin militarily because Russia is, of course, they have one of the strongest military in the world.
Yes.
So he cannot threaten. He cannot threaten Russia. He can never threaten Russia.
He threatened Putin on personal sanctions. So.
Of course, he can only use sanctions. He can only use sanctions to weaken the economy. But mind you, that Putin is also a very smart person. He has special advisors. He has economists around him. They are also looking for a way out of it. That is why many times you always run to China. Are you getting it? You always run to China. China always come to their aid in situations like this. So he always has a way out.
Okay. That's very, very, I don't know. Yeah, Tosh, really appreciate your call. I really appreciate your contribution. I really appreciate your in-depth knowledge and to this topic. And also some people on the chat, Justin the Alpha, he's saying almost like conquering all that you've been saying, all those kind of things, you understand? So, and I was trying to see if I can get any other call from the audience, and the number is on the screen. Okay, so we are
All right.
we are live.
Okay.
Just hold on, it's fine. We're live on YouTube, one on YouTube channel. We are live on one on Facebook, and we are live on Twitter as well. I think I'm live as on Paris Apacino personal page as well. All right, guys, if you cannot call, you can just send a message. You cannot read out your message. Understand? This is not. This is really is a very serious, topic. I said just in the alpha, I said I should ask you this question. He said I should ask you news that millions of Europeans will die in this war. And then he said it can last for years. That I should ask you that what do you think about that? That if this war started or something like that, that it's going to be like millions
There
of.
will always be casualties in both sides. Russians will die, Europeans will die as well. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Russians will die, Europeans will die as well. I mean, from this Western Europe, people will always die. At the event of war, people will always die. There's always humanitarian crisis.
Yeah.
So war is not the best option. War is not the best option. That is why President Emmanuel Macron traveled to Russia for diplomatic talks. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz traveled to Russia too.
Yeah.
They are all using every available diplomatic means to resolve this amicably. But where diplomacy fails is going to be very, very disastrous.
And once it happens, it will still affect Africans as well, because
it will affect everybody will be involved. Everybody will be affected. Everybody will be affected. Everybody will be affected. So that is just the thing.
Yeah.
So, of course,
he's trying to be funny. He said that he said that he thinks that Nigerians should stay and join Ukraine army. They should join the Ukrainian army.
That is not the best. That is not whoever that is suggesting that. Do you want them to send Nigerians to war front?
I think maybe he's trying to be sarcastic a bit. That's fine.
You want them? Of course, it might likely happen.
Yes.
But not voluntarily. They're going to force a lot of people to join Ukrainian army. Because there won't be escaping route.
Yeah.
Forced to join Ukrainian army. Not by choice. It's going to be by force. And forcing you to join Ukrainian army means sending you in the war front.
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't want their citizens to die either. Are you getting it? So that is just the thing. Many things are involved. Many options are there. So the best thing for one to do, if you really care for yourself, if you like yourself, this is the best time for you to make arrangements and live there.
It's really crazy. It's really, I don't know how to say it. It's crazy. It's something that.
And the whole world, they are being careful to avoid Third World War. I told you this before. I keep saying it.
Yeah. I don't know.
So you will never see all these superpowers there. What they will do is just to be supplying Ukraine arms or whatever. But you will never. Biden administration said that they will not send U.S. boots. U.S. boots will not be on ground in Ukraine.
Because
British,
they cannot.
They are not going there.
They are not, because they are not in NATO, isn't it?
For Ukraine to defend their territory. NATO can only stay in NATO country, people that are members of countries that are members of NATO. That is where they will position the soldiers there.
Yes.
To protect those people. But they will not enter Ukraine to fight for Ukraine, because NATO entering there means the war will enter another phase. It's going to be Third World War, and which they are carefully avoiding.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. It's something that we pray, maybe we just like praying that when they say something that when you smoke weed or something, that that weed, when it clears from your eyes, then you get your conscience. Maybe that's what we're praying, that Putin will just regain his conscience and just like get away and just calm down, because if this thing
Of course.
if it escalates, it's gonna be bloody.
Of course, that is why all the world leaders, many people are going there to meet him, to talk to him, to choose the option of the, because that is the only way to ease this tension. That is the only way. He's ready for that. He's ready for anything. I know him. He's a man of action. He's ready for anything, for any confrontation. He's ready for it.
Yeah, it's crazy. So what do you what do you think about Putin getting his nukes ready?
Getting what?
Getting his nukes ready.
Of course, all those things are always ready. There is this new technology, he just recently built, that in case of any country that wants to use nuclear weapon on them, they will get the signal where the nuclear weapon is coming from. They have this advanced technology now that even if any country wants to attack them with nuclear warfare, they will first get the signal. Yeah. Before the thing moves, is being projected. They will get the signal and know where it's coming from. So he's ready. He's ready. President Putin is always ready. Remember, he knows a lot. And the West sees him as a security risk, as a threat to them.
Okay. All right. Okay, Tosh, really appreciate your
You're welcome.
Your contribution and your in-depth, I said it, in-depth knowledge, which is something that we welcome all the time. Understand now as well, Justin the Alpha, he's been bombarding with a lot of messages and all that, That's what I mean. And then and we,
I appreciate.
I really appreciate that. We are live. We're live in one of YouTube. We're live in one of Facebook and other channels. This is a phone-in session that we do every weekend. Friday 7 p.m., Saturday 7 p.m., and Sunday 7 p.m. We're discussing like what we're discussing now. Understand? So people can call in and contribute their opinion and their in-depth knowledge about the topic that we're discussing. And this is a very, very big topic, that is something that is happening right now, that maybe most people are not even that taking it as if maybe something is it's just a small thing. I don't think it's a small thing. You understand me? So they should take it very serious, because anything can happen at any time. And most Nigerians that are in Ukraine at the moment, I think they should be thinking of way to evacuate themselves from there. Just find alternative route just to get out of the country. Understand? That's it. So Tosh, really appreciate. Thank you so much. And
you're welcome.
Hoping that next week you're gonna join us again to,
by God's grace.
Yeah, to follow up on what we discussed. Yeah. So we're gonna round up on today's evening session, which is 1 hour session that we're doing at the moment. I know that a lot of people might want us to go more and more. That's the rules. We just doing 1 hour for now, until maybe we get some ground, we can extend it for them. Understand? So like what I'm saying, you please, if you're joining us for the first time, I would like you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Just subscribe there and click on notification so that we go live. You can join us. You can join us with us straight away. You also, you can follow us on Twitter as well. The Twitter is at @wano_JJ. Okay, that is it. So running up all this evening. Yeah, I think the the Western world, they're trying all their best to make sure to find a way to negotiate or to de-escalate this situation. The ultimate economic hit would be to disconnect Russia's banking system from the international SWIFT payment system. But that could badly impact the US and European economies. And because of that, they're trying every possible means just to find other means as well to stop what is happening. And most Nigerians that are in Ukraine, Belarus, Poland, and some other places down there, they should find a way, even if like to come back or make other alternative arrangement for themselves, because I don't think Nigerian government is going to send anything or send any plane for them to take them back home. So it should be in their hands, like they normally say. You are the one that left the country. Whatever you went to is your responsibility to find a way to get out from there. They should find a way to get out from Ukraine. Or they are the ones that are living in Ukraine. It might be peaceful where they are. We don't know, but what we are seeing and what we are hearing outside from Ukraine, the news is not good. You understand? And according to the West and according to the top powers, they're saying that war can be imminent, attack can be imminent. And because of that, everybody, they are telling their citizens to leave the country. And also, with that as well, Nigerians that are in Ukraine, they should find a way to leave that country. Understand me? So everyone that tune in today, wherever you watching from, whatever you are listening from, this is one live session. Like I said to you, we do this every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay, I will point out by within the week the topic of what we're going to discuss per week is going to come out. We're going to tune in on Friday night, so we're going to discuss that. We need your calls, we need your attention, we need your views and your opinion on this. Once again, from me, listening to Bevins Apasino, I'll say thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you guys for the support. Thank you, Tosh, for calling in, and thank you, Justin, for your contributions and the chat and everything. Okay, stay strong, brother. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Okay, thank you, everyone. See you next week, Friday.